Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. In the works with Brandon and Usa.
Just want me to start with the quote?
Yeah.
I do believe in simplicity. It is astonishing as well as sad how many trivial affairs even the wisest man thinks he must attend to in a day. How singular an affair he thinks he must omit. When the mathematician would solve a difficult problem, he first frees the equation of all encumbrances and reduces it to its simplest terms. So simplify the problem of life. Distinguish between the necessary and the real. Probe the earth to see where your main roots run.
God damn. I like that. I knew you were going to come up with something interesting.
Yeah.
That was nice.
That was from Henry David Thoreau.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That
Yeah.
makes more sense. Philosopher. So I'm guessing you've been doing a lot of reading and such.
Not so much recently. I tried reading The Myth of Sisyphus recently, but it's kind of like too dramatic for me because it's all about like why exist at all kind of thing and why go on when this world is so absurd and there's kind of like no really.
And you're like, what emo crap is this?
Well, I was kind of like, this is so dramatic and like trying to justify your entire existence all at once is kind of hard, and you kind of just need to take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
And focus on what makes you happy kind of thing. And yeah, I'm probably going to return that.
Yeah, well, okay. So we got a special day here because we have a special guest. He's not special, but he's special.
Who is it?
His name is?
Brogan Cooper.
All right. Welcome, Brogan. Brogan, who are you? You know, where'd you come from? Why are you here?
From? Well, when a man loves a woman.
Well, that's okay. But yeah, I know you because you're a friend of mine. We went to the same school. In fact, we're here right now. This is the first time we're recording outside of where we usually record, so it's kind of cool. We're using our portable setup.
It was not very fun we need to update our list to
I was about to say we need a better parts list. We forgot something. So if suddenly there's a blank in everything, it's because the camera died or overheated, and then we have to wait and restart it. So if that happens a bunch, that's why. So
but for all you audio listeners out there,
it won't affect you at all.
Yeah, you're not gonna know
because we're recording audio separately. So anyway, this is Brogan, and we're just gonna talk about you, Brogan. Are you ready for that?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever had that happen to you before?
No, this is the first time.
No, yeah. So you could blab about yourself all you want.
Oh, great. This is my narcissism day.
Exactly. So really, where did you come from? What was your childhood like? How'd you grow up? How'd you get here?
Raised in Kearney, Missouri.
How old are you, first off?
Oh, I'm 18 years old.
Nice.
Born and raised in Kearney, Missouri. I went to the Kearney elementary school district until about 4th grade. I was being stupid, and I had a confrontation with the 5th grade teacher when I was in 4th grade because I was running the halls or doing something stupid, and then I really hated that. He really made me feel stressed out when I talked to him. And so when I went home, I said, "Mom, we got to do homeschooling," and I made some bullshit reason that she believed, like school was just too easy, and I think that was it. School was too easy, and I needed something more challenging.
Nice.
So I said,
straight out the womb, just like that, right?
Oh yeah. We had to do homeschooling because it was too easy, and so then my mom started doing homeschooling. My dad was like, "No, just go through normal school, stupid." But my mom somehow convinced him to do homeschooling, and then I did homeschooling. Kind of made relationships a little harder, but for a little bit, but then it got back up. And then I started doing college through dual enrollment at MCC. That's what I'm currently doing now. I only got 2 semesters left, and then I'll graduate with an associate in arts. So my homeschooling thing kind of was an accident at first. It was just me trying to get away from something I wanted to avoid. But it worked out in the end better than normal schooling probably would.
Yeah. What do you think the difference would be? How would you be different if you stayed in public school versus?
I'm worried that I would have become normal.
Normal.
So I've heard that when it comes to homeschooling, just going to just a school with a bunch of other people. Was that hard to just get back into, or was it just easy to talk to people?
I was really nervous at first.
So was that high school when you came back into the public school system, or was that college?
It was college.
College, okay. Yeah.
You know, when you go from elementary to college.
Yeah, was this past, was the fall semester your first semester back? Fall last year?
No.
No? Okay. Was it?
It was like a year before that.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So you went to college when you were younger. Oh, you said dual enrollment, right?
So I think I started when this was super weird. I was like freaking 15 and I took a psychology class, and everyone around me was 18. I felt super stressed and really embarrassed all the time.
I didn't know you were in college that early.
Yeah, I was really early.
Yeah. So you're like halfway through, right?
That was like the easiest class ever, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not halfway through.
Okay.
But I only got 2 more semesters left. Would be done by now, but.
Holy crap, bro!
Yeah,
I had no idea.
2 more semesters, like 5 sentences ago.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Wow, I didn't know you started so early and you were almost done.
Yeah.
No, I thought like the rest of the group, you were just it was your first year here.
Yeah, I didn't really talk to anybody the year before that.
So what year was it when you started coming here?
Like, what year? So that'd be when I was 16, so that'd be 2 years ago, so 2020.
2020? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it could have been done by now. But
yeah, I mean, I took a couple classes here, I think spring of 2020. So, I mean, I just barely missed you. So that's kind of crazy. I didn't know that about you at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to school now, and you said it was for psychology?
No.
Oh,
it's
arts.
just an associate in arts, just a general
arts.
education
So you're just
degree.
trying to get some sort of
I
education.
want to do.
You don't know what you want to do. All right. Well, you kind of have
I kind of have an idea, but a job. I don't have one set job that I think I want to do for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking right now I want to be a job hopper.
A job hopper.
Just work a bunch of different stuff and have fun with it, and then go to another job when that gets boring.
Get experience.
Totally
too.
Understand that.
Yeah.
Just as soon as it gets boring, hey, I'm out. I need something new.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get bored in a job, it's agony going there every day.
Yep.
I mean, and then you're like, damn, I still need this job though. So I mean, hey, if you accrue a lot of experience though, I mean, it'd be easier to get jobs.
So you said you have an idea of what direction you want to go into. What are you thinking?
Well, I want to live in a van and live as cheaply as possible. I really value my time more than money. I don't want to buy fancy cars. I don't want to buy fancy clothes. I just want stuff that's practical, like just clothes, just a car that works, well, just a van that works, because living cheaply will involve living in a van, because that's cheaper than rent right now.
So you had just purchased a van like a month ago or something?
Yeah, about a month ago, I've been driving it. I threw a bed back there, and I sleep in it every once in a while. Kind of all the time, actually. It's only been 2 days that I haven't slept in it.
Nice.
And it's not that bad sleeping in it, even without like an air conditioner or a fan or anything. I just crack open a window and.
Right now, I know you were testing things out. Are you still, you've been living in your parents' home, so are you
sleeping in their driveway?
You're sleeping in the driveway. Okay, yeah. I didn't know if you were testing out like sleeping other places in the area. Or...
No, I really need to get going on some stuff because I've been lazy in my van life stuff. I haven't put covers on the windows, so people will just see me sleeping if I park anywhere. Yeah. So I'm thinking that after this, I'm going to go to Home Depot and buy some insulation and work to make window covers for all my windows.
Gotcha. What else are you going to do with the van? Because I know before you described to me that, you wanted to do stuff with it. You wanted to kind of customize it, but you didn't want to go overboard. And a lot of people kind of wanted to do specific things to your van. And you were like,
some of my friends, we got a van life build out group on Snapchat, and one of them wants me to like do all this crazy stuff, wants to put all new flooring in, wants to rip out everything, wants to put insulation in it. And I'm like, bro, this is just my first van. I was just gonna make this really simple, just so that I can live in it. It's like that quote that I said, simplify the problem of life. I want to simplify my life. I don't want it to be too complex. I don't want my van to be super crazy. Oh, and back to your question, what did I want to do with it? I wanted to like just put all the basic necessities for life in there. Like my dad and I were going to build like a sink for it, and we have this charged up water dispenser that charges with USB-C and like a little bowl that you can pick up and dump out. So yeah, water. I wanted a kitchen, maybe if that's just a portable gas stove, like for camping.
Something to make food.
Yeah, maybe like a little shower thing that hangs on a door, but I might just buy a Planet Fitness gym membership and use their showers, because that'll be really cheap. $10 membership, and you just get
That's
access
the way
all
to go.
Yeah, I think you have to go to like the highest level though to get it at all locations, right? Or is it just 10?
I thought it was just 10.
I hope not.
I don't know. I thought you got some special things. I don't know.
Usually they're just in the locker rooms. They're just free to use.
Maybe it's just a lot of van lifers end up upgrading for stuff anyway because they're there all the time.
I haven't heard any van lifers talk about having to get the highest membership.
Oh.
I think it's just $10.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I heard about it like a couple years ago because that's when I was looking into stuff like that. So.
Got to focus on like sleeping without people watching me before I focus on.
Yeah, exactly. There's some people who they actually put like security systems in.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about
that. Yeah. So you can like check your little tablet screen thingy.
I don't want them stealing my flag.
And go, okay, there's this guy around my car right now, and it could alert for motion and things like that. I mean, that's a little more high tech, but
yeah, but that might be a little more too complex for what I want to do.
Yeah, you just need something inconspicuous so that you don't get the knock in the middle of the night.
I kind of wanted to make it inconspicuous though. There's this guy named Damien at Quick Trip where I work, and he just started talking, and apparently he does airbrush and can like put anime girls on cars, and I wanted to make like an Itachi van, but
is he only puts anime girls on cars?
Yep. that's what 29-year-old virgins like Damien do.
I might need to look into that.
I can give you a Snapchat.
Yeah, no. Just you got a Mitsubishi Lancer with it, just an anime girl on it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. And what sort of so with the van life thing, I think you mentioned this just a second ago, but where are you trying to go with it? What are you trying to do with it?
I'm just trying to.
Besides live simply, are you just going to be chilling, working in your van, doing Planet Fitness at showers and just doing whatever in the area, or are you gonna branch out, go, start traveling around?
My plans right now aren't really for travel.
Gotcha.
I just want my time back. I hate how much time a job takes for me. Quick Trip, I work 32 hours a week, and it takes all my energy afterwards, and it feels like I can't do anything. I have all this weird crap that I want to do, and so in the meantime, I kind of just want to stay around the Kearney, Liberty, Kansas City area and just do all that list that I made. Like a friend and I, we want to tube down a river just all day, just see how far we can go. And we got this like double tube with like beer can. It's like a beer can cooler in the middle. What else do I want to do? I wanted to. My parents have a forest, and I chopped down one of the trees one day with an axe that I bought off Facebook Marketplace for $25. And I wanted to chop down about 40 more and make a log cabin, and that would take a lot of time and energy that I don't have working at Quick Trip, or I do have the time and energy. I just don't want to sacrifice it for other things. Also want to like train for ultra marathons and try a bunch of really like athletic stuff that takes a lot of time, but I just don't really have time for it right now.
Yeah. I know right now you've spoken about like a 24-hour thing.
There's this guy in the Smithville running group, and he talked about a 24-hour race, which was kind of pretty crazy because he said the most he's ever ran is 31 hours, which is only about.
Oh, that's nothing. No.
I mean 31 miles. My bad. 31 miles.
31 hours.
So he was only ran for 31 miles, and so that's about 6 hours of running, maybe 7. And he wants to quadruple that, and so that's pretty dramatic. I was pretty surprised that that's what he wanted to do, and I was like, shoot, I got to try that. Just even if like I go to the race, well, not really supposed to be a race, but the event where everyone's trying to run 24 hours, and I fail, at least it'll be a good experience seeing all those runners. It'll be a lot of ultra marathoners, and I want to talk to those people about it because that's something I want to try.
Yeah, doing events like that, it's very rewarding because I didn't do a 24-hour, but I did 48 hours, like the David Goggins, like 4x4x48.
I gotta try that.
Yeah, that one's really fun because you're not running the whole time. It's 4 miles every 4 hours, but you're the event of you having to be like, okay, I'm gonna go run 4 miles. That happens all day for 2 days through the night, and it's weird. You get this mindset of like, okay, I got to do this. Oh man, it's almost time. We got to power through this. Afterward, your legs are like
Yeah.
And you just got to recover from that. So, have you done something lengthy like that before?
The most I've done is 23 miles, because I've been training for a full marathon. That took me about 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
So thankfully, he's planning his first 12-hour practice run.
Yeah.
For September. So my goal was just to every Sunday keep adding more and more mileage and more time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm having to figure out how do I drink water while I'm running? How do I eat food while I'm running? Because if you do not drink water while you're running, you feel like a zombie and everything sucks.
Well, you got to make sure you got enough electrolytes too, salts and such.
I got Gatorade that I'm gonna try and drink next run.
I know some people do salt pills.
Yeah, salt packets.
Yeah.
Because the last run I was dehydrated. My pee was dark orange, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
I had to run back to the Quick Trip, or the Price Chopper, because that's where my water was.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long story about how I had water and didn't have water, but because I was running
access to water.
Yeah. And I passed these people who were drinking beer outside of their garage, and I said, "Do you have any water? I'm on mile 22 of my run. Do you have any water?" They're like, "The only waters we got is beer." I'm like, "What? I just need water, bro." But I didn't say I just need tap water. Can you just go get me a glass from inside? I was kind of pissed off.
Yeah, that they wouldn't.
Yeah, they were just making
Wait, so it was by a house or something? By a bar or something?
I was running in Kearney, past the Kearney Trail, and was running past some houses. And I just got so mad at them. I just ran the other mile to Quick Trip because I was about a mile away from it.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Yep.
So yeah, I thought it was water beer. When you told me this before, I thought you were on the trail and those people were walking and drinking or something. I'm like, that can't be a thing that's allowed. So yeah,
maybe it is. Kearney.
Yeah. All right, so I know you've been getting into Nerf.
Nerf.
So
I've always been Nerf. What do you mean getting into?
Well, I mean even more so.
Nerf or nothing
adults.
Nerf?
Being an adult and getting into Nerf.
Nerf or nothing? Okay, just making sure. Okay.
He's on the Nerf side of that.
Gotcha.
So about a year ago.
How did you get into Nerf, bro?
Well, as a kid, I just always liked it. I got a Nerf gun and I started shooting my siblings, and then I bothered them so much with it that they never played with me ever again. And then I had this problem where I could never get anyone to do a Nerf war with me because I always wanted to do a lot of expel a lot of energy and kind of go a little crazier with it.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of just my siblings were intimidated by me with Nerf, and they didn't want to do it because I would shoot them all the time. And they just never wanted to do it.
Did you shoot them in the face every time?
No.
Then I don't get it. Then it's just a Nerf dart.
No.
Were they working on something? Eating food?
They were just in their room on their phone probably when I shot them. That's probably why.
Hey, that's not the worst though. Get them out of bed, even if it's to go beat you. I mean.
Yeah, so I had a few Nerf wars, but not as much as I wanted to. I always had this desire to have a lot of Nerf wars and could never satisfy my desire for Nerf as a kid because I just never could get people to Nerf enough. Then I was slowly starting to get rid of my Nerf guns because I'm like, man, I can't even get people to play with this. I'll just stop. And then before I did that, I found a group called the Kansas City Nerf Club, and usually they're set up in Overland Park, Kansas. And they host Nerf wars with modded gear. And so I started modding my Nerf guns. I got this Nerf Strife that's really loud, and I love it. And so I just started nerfing there. They have a Nerf war every month. They all have modded gear. They have barriers that they've made. There's a fee to get in to fund the club, and they sometimes have it in indoor arenas. So they had it in an indoor arena because last Nerf War was so hot that people started passing out due to heat stroke.
Oh, shit. How did he die? Nerf War. Nerf or nothing.
Nerf too hard. Yeah, so when I'm there, I'm like sliding and like moving really fast through these barriers, and all these other Nerfers are like 40 years old. So I'm like,
no way.
Yeah,
no way.
That's way 30, 40.
That's why it's all modded Nerf guns. Yeah.
Yeah,
because the regular ones suck.
They do suck.
You're
They
like,
suck
oh
so
man,
much.
it dropped like 2 feet out of the. Yeah, no, that's. Yeah, I saw part of the mod you had, like one of the modded guns, like it was in pieces. You were still making it, but I'm like, wow, you have like an actual trigger. And it's like a hair trigger on there, and then the build, I'm like, Jesus Christ, are you sure this is a Nerf gun?
Oh, it may have been 3D printed ones. There's now 3D printed blasters that you can just 3D print the frame and put the parts in, and they're crazy. They shoot like 200 FPS.
Yeah, I was like, don't point that around here. Someone might think it's something else.
I think that Nerf gun was the Nerf Griffin, and it was colored black, red, and silver, so not here.
Yeah, exactly. And weren't you trying to start a Nerf club here as well?
I was trying to start a Nerf club here as well, because even,
cool.
I don't know, I guess I keep hedonically adaptating to like the amount of Nerf that I get, and I keep wanting more. So
how did that go?
So I went to the Kansas City Nerf Club, and I started Nerfing there, and I had a bunch of fun. I won. I used to be like the guy who like won all the raffles, because I would put like no money in the raffles, $5, and I'd win these 2 big shields. Oh, no, I don't remember how that worked, because I was smart, and you could see how many tickets were in each raffle bin, and there were items that people wanted a lot, and they were like crazy 200 FPS, full auto blasters that would shoot across the field.
Oh,
and
damn.
I'm like, I'm not going to win that. I don't want to spend a bunch of money gambling. And so I put my money in the shield bin, because no one likes shields for some reason. But they're a lot of fun, so I put my money in the shield bin every time. I called it strategic gambling, and I won the shields 2 times, so now I have 2 shields. And shields are a lot of fun. I just use it with like a pistol and basically help my team push points and stuff, because there's objectives during the
because they don't have armored piercing, you know.
No, there is armor piercing.
What?
But they're like...
What?
Wait, yeah,
armor piercing darts?
How does that work?
Is it like pretend armor piercing?
Pretend armor piercing. Yeah, no.
How fast are you shooting these Nerf darts?
500 FPS.
Yeah, it's actually a lethal velocity. We put tungsten,
It's Nerf
tips.
For nothing, we go all in. Yeah, with mega darts or the new like extra large, I don't know what they're called. There's these really big blue darts now. They destroy.
Oh, so
the
those
mega
are
darts like
armor
pierce
piercing.
through the shield and you're dead. If like but your shield's not out. But if the blue one hits your shield,
then you gotta take the blue shield out.
You gotta take the whole shield out for the entire round. It's horrible.
Damn.
I hate when that happens.
I want a big blue dart. Yeah, I actually really like the large darts. I really enjoy those.
Darts.
Yeah, because the small ones, they go pew and they go, and they just kind of get like, whee. But the big darts, it's like boom, whack, and it may not even hurt. It's I don't know. It's more solid trajectory. And
Yeah.
I just feel like the contact is a lot better. I haven't messed with big blue darts, but the red ones, I really like those.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah.
I bought 2 Nerf Mastodons, which are these like mini guns, and I would dual wield them. But then they took like 60 batteries each, and I didn't shoot that.
God, you need a rechargeable power source. You need to mod that.
Yeah, some Nerf guns came with that, but not the Mastodons.
Yeah, well, that's why you gotta put it in there.
You gotta modify that.
Yeah. I mean, there are battery terminals. You could run some wires
That's
in
true.
there, slap a battery
You
pack
could
on
put
somewhere.
a LiPo in there, and then have a rechargeable LiPo like I have for my Strife.
Yeah.
Oh, so back to what I was saying. I got used to Nerfing at this club.
You get one of those big battery packs, carry it in your backpack, run it through, get it so that you could just plug your Nerf gun in, so that you could just have infinite power source.
I think people do that.
Oh,
It's
seriously?
like battery packs. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
The
and then
Nerf
you could
scene is
have
crazy.
you could have like a solar panel on top of the backpack, so when you're running outside, you're like,
You get extra juice.
yeah, you go a little bit longer because the solar panel is not gonna charge it up.
Being able to Nerf for 72 hours for long-term
Yeah,
engagements.
he lives in a van, travels and nerfs, Yeah, geez, that's pretty cool though. Yeah, how are the how's the cleanup for that between
We
rounds?
have to do dart
Dart
cleanups where
pickup.
everyone helps during the rounds, but oftentimes people don't help for the rounds, and they always say, "Hey, if you're not cleaning up, you're not gonna be able to play in the next round."
And then they
Never
play in the
happens.
next round. Yeah.
Never
So
happens.
with the darts, are they just given out and it's like community
Yeah,
darts?
So there's a fees, and that funds the darts and the barriers and
Okay.
all that. They have the rival balls, they have the normal darts, they have the mega darts. They
That
have
makes
the
sense.
Okay, yeah.
missiles.
Because I would hate to buy darts and then all of a sudden they all get destroyed.
Yeah, in my head, I'm just
I'm like, I'd rather just pick up darts when people start
Exactly.
shooting.
In my head, I was thinking, wow, you must go through a lot of money buying darts,
Darts.
and then possibly losing them, breaking them.
Yeah,
And
because
just-
you step on a dart, it's over.
Yeah, it's done for.
If you're running around the field, I mean, all those darts are being trampled.
Nah,
So-
they're a little more durable than that, I think.
Okay, maybe yeah. I just remember,
We don't use like the Nerf brand darts because those are freaking expensive. We use
Oh.
the dart zone darts.
Gotcha.
You know, we say it's Nerf for nothing, but
Dart
Dart
Zone.
Zone has better blasters than Nerf and better darts than Nerf. And most of the
Jeez.
group uses Dart Zone blasters, like the Nexus Pro, the Ion Pro. All these blasters shoot.
I wish I
like
knew what he
100
was talking about.
and 30 FPS. So all
Yeah.
these blasters shoot like 130 FPS out of the gate, while a Nerf gun will shoot about 70 to 100 FPS,
Oh wow.
or maybe 50.
Yeah.
Like, and since this is all modded, you buy what's it called, a Dart Zone gun. You're just good to go. You just buy that, and you can just be right in the game and not have to worry about your blaster not shooting far enough.
Yeah, because when I was younger, I would try to mod my Nerf guns, and all you could do is pull out the air restrictor, maybe get a stronger spring, and
Yeah, I did that once.
that's it. And it does more, but it's not a
It's
lot.
not noticeable.
Sorry, I just saw that tiny bug crawling
I
on
just
the
saw
wall
the bug
behind us.
too.
Yeah. But no, it's not too much more, but it is noticeable. But on some of the newer Nerf guns, the way they have it set up, the air restrictors, it's more, you have to do more. So kids can't just like tweak this one thing. Because I had one of those zombie blasters that you kind of pull the lever down. It has two barrels. It
Hammer
shoots
shot.
one,
I know the name
pull
of
it, and it shoots the other. Wow. Okay.
I used to know the name of every Nerf blaster, but I just gave up at a certain point because once you get into the modded community, there's about 200 more Nerf blasters you're going to have to remember the name of.
Yeah, and you don't.
I
They're like,
kinda
yeah, I got
just-
the XP 300,
I kind of just gave up.
which is better than the
like-
R4.
It's like, what's the difference between the Nightingale and the
guided
Lopez?
nail?
the Nightingale. The guided nail.
Yeah,
That'd be a pretty good name for it.
the guided nail.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
You modify the dart so it just like homes on someone.
yeah,
I think the Nightingale is the one that's like super accurate but shoots really fast. It's insane.
huh?
Oh,
It's a mag
It's like
fed
the sniper.
pistol-
Oh, really?
pistol blaster. Yeah, there's like
Jeez, not
rules on
bolt action,
pistols
huh?
because some of the pistols are too crazy for the pistol only rounds.
Seriously?
Yeah, some of the pistols are just so unbelievably.
It's like you got the magazine this long, and
exactly. They're crazy.
you're just carrying around a.
There's 22 round mag. No, there's a 31 round, 29 round mag that my friend bought, and he could put it in a pistol.
And just so anybody who can hear us down the hall, we're talking about Nerf. Okay, continue.
wait. So, with these pistol rounds, are there like restrictions to
Nerf
those?
pistol
so
rounds.
it's just kind of
Most of the time there is, but this last Nerf where I went to, there wasn't, and it was absolute hell because this other team had the Nightingales.
Ba, 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 ba.
No, faster than that. It's like.
And it's
Oh.
I know,
and it's
just-
darts too. It's not like the balls.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
they have half darts too now. There's another new demo type.
Dude, I used to do that. I
What?
would take the air restrictors out, or at least twist off the pins inside, and then I'd cut the darts in half so I could shove it in the barrels, and so my brothers wouldn't be able to tell if I had a dart in there. So I'd sneak up on them and be like, "Pa!" And although they learned, so they saw an empty gun and
Yeah.
they never trusted me. I'm like, "Dude, it's actually empty," and they're like, "Yeah, right."
sure.
just look down the barrel and check.
Yeah, just look. Whoop. Yeah, but okay, that makes more sense. Half darts. And
yeah, they work a lot better than normal darts.
Yeah, because normal darts are long, so I assume like trying to go back all the way. I mean that it takes longer and more force probably to get that going.
That's not really.
So getting a short dart, it's like instead of
maybe, but most of the time it's more about that they're more accurate.
I could see that too.
And take up less space in the gun, so you could have really cool compact guns like those crazy pistols. Those pistols would be huge if they used full darts, but
yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like,
they
29.
They look like a real gun shape wise, not color wise.
Because what would a Nerf dart be caliber wise? Probably like 45.
Be something huge.
Yeah, like a 9 or 45.
I don't know. I don't know much about normal guns, to be honest.
I don't know. I'd have to see them side by side. I haven't seen a Nerf dart or a 45 in a while, but
about this large.
No, I mean diameter.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you meant, like, because to me that's what would matter most for size. Because even if you have like longer darts, I mean, how much can you fit going straight down or in a drum? It would just be long. It would be a fatter barrel, like a drum, a fatter barrel, wow. Fatter drum. But if you had half darts, it would just be thinner drum, but it'd still take up the same amount of like width, space, and length down. So I don't know. So smaller darts, maybe. Imagine having like tiny, heavy darts that are just like this big, like a little, and that are the width is
change to airsoft. It's gonna transition to airsoft at a certain point.
But it has to have foam on the end.
Oh yeah,
because it's still a dart. Okay, it's not.
It's still a dart. It has foam on it.
Yeah, I did airsoft as a kid, but not like professionally. Just everyone in my house had airsoft guns, and we'd often have airsoft wars in the house on accident. Like one person would shoot somebody, then awesome. They'd shoot another person, and then you're like in an engagement, right? And then out of nowhere you're getting shot, and it's because dad's like peeping out his door, but you can't shoot him back. You can't shoot.
Oh, you can't shoot dad.
You can't
back?
shoot. Yeah, so you have to hide while you're shooting your siblings. And so, and then other people would come in, and the biggest thing was, okay, you got to realize that maybe the BBs don't go through things except for like paper, but they can bounce off of walls.
Oh, damn.
So if you're behind something, you're not safe. So as long as you knew how to do angles, you could bounce a BB off the wall and still hit the person, and that happened all the time. So you were almost never safe wherever you were sitting, because even we had like a post in the room. Yeah, and it's like, oh, I'm next to this post. They bounce it off the post, or bounce it off the tote, or bounce it off the wall, or bounce it off. And so you might miss and hit yourself because you're in a room. So it was kind of insane. Like, one sibling, you're engaging with another sibling here, and then the other sibling goes and gets their gun, and they either choose a side or they're on no one's side, and they just run around capping people, and it's just like it was kind of wild.
I've had that happen with Nerf guns, but
no, because you got to pick up the darts and you step on the darts.
Once people shoot like one load of ammo, they're done.
They're like done. They're like, I don't want to pick this up. Although our stepmom would get really mad at us because the BBs would be everywhere, literally everywhere. And here's the problem: the vacuum cleaner does not like BBs. First off, it spins really loud. It goes, but the vacuum cleaner we had would break if there were too many BBs that would be pulled up. So
how many vacuum cleaners did you go through?
I don't know. I think it only took one time that it broke, and we had to like fix it, unclog it for So that mainly is what shut that down, was the vacuum cleaner. But there was a short portion of time where it was all the time. But we used to go outside too and do that. And there was this one time
I used to go outside too.
Yeah. And do that.
I stopped doing
so
that.
we were living in the lower level of the house. The upper level, there was a family, and we would play airsoft with the son, and he had money. We didn't. We had the one.
He had money.
We had one pistol. My brothers, we each had like a pistol that was bought for us for Christmas. And I remember mine, it was orange handled, clear. And the magazine had a space for 88 BBs. And there was like 12 that would actually go in. And you'd pull this tab and like shake it so that the BBs would go into the actual springed portion. And so you had like I don't know,
100 bullets.
No, well, yeah, you had like 88, but you had multiple reloads in one magazine, so you didn't actually have to keep loading your magazine. And you'd open a slot and you'd dump the BBs in, and so it was pretty nice. And they were okay. they were single shot, you know, rack it every time.
Yep.
But that's all we needed. But this guy had like the cheap automatic ones, and I was playing airsoft with him one time, and we were inside, you know, it was summer day, and we were just right at the back door, and he had them and laid out on like the freezer that was right next to the door, and we're getting loaded, and we're like, all right, we're gonna do this, you know, you run and stuff. And I remember I think I grabbed one of his things and then pushed him out of the door. I said, all right, we're going. And he was like, what? Something like that. And then he was like, hey. And then I took it, opened the door and started shooting him so he'd run away. And then I was like, okay, I'm not going to carry around the automatic. So I just left it there, and he later got it. And then started running around the house, and I, you know, come around behind him, cap him, and then run again. And then we just kind of had this cat and mouse game where we were just running around the house, and I was able to outsmart him in the sense that I never saw him. I was like, or I saw glimpses of his back, and I was just making him run. And at one point I just went inside and he was running around the house, having to hop over the fence every single time, and he kept going and going and going and going and going and going until he saw through the window that I was inside, and he was like, you, and started swearing and stuff. And I guess my parents were outside, and they were just like, oh yeah, he went that way. Oh yeah, I just saw him. So they were just chilling, but yeah, it was pretty fun. I have good memories of airsoft, but luckily I had siblings that were down with airsoft and Nerf.
Yeah, my siblings are too scared of Nerf darts.
Which is...
or just wanted to play video games all day.
Probably that, because, I mean, you get hit with an airsoft gun, Nerf darts seem amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I'm at this certain point that I have, like, Nerf dart tolerance, and people have to tell me if I'm hit.
Oh, really? I mean, it is just a Nerf dart, you know?
And plus...
Unless you get struck in the face.
Yeah. The Kansas City Nerf Club is crazy. People are wearing chest rigs with, like, 6, 8, 12 mags of Nerf darts. So you get hit in the chest rig and you don't know.
You have no idea. And you're like, hey, you were hit. No, it wasn't.
No. It ain't like that, thankfully.
Oh, okay. So they're like, ah, damn. You know,
yeah, they admit it. They just accept that they were hit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good, because I could see how Nerf could get instantly bad for teams.
Yeah, if you, like, don't even know who's hit, and, like...
Yeah, and it's like, dude, I hit you, like, 3 times. No, you didn't. Yeah, somebody gets hit for real over Nerf. Yeah,
and,
luckily.
you know, it's Nerf or nothing.
Yeah.
It's in the name, you know? It's there.
It's actually, what was the other one? Dart Zone.
Dart Zone.
Or...
Dart Zone or nothing.
Yeah.
We don't care
it's a hybrid of Nerf and Dart Zone or nothing.
Does Dart Zone have their own catchy phrase like Nerf?
So what?
They're missing out.
So while being in a band, how are you storing your Nerf? Is it just gonna be in there too?
I don't know how I'm gonna deal with that. I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Yeah, I have too much Nerf.
I do have a lot of Nerf. I've been getting rid of a lot of them just to, like,
consolidate. You're going to have to choose your primary and your secondary, and that's it.
Maybe. I was thinking that my parents are really nice. They might just let me keep my crap at their house.
Yeah.
I might do that.
Because they're like, oh, you could come back if you want, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, that's the move. As long as you're, you know, if they're fine with, hey, you know what, we have a free room. I mean, it was your room. We're not doing anything with it. You know, as long as you're not an asshole, you could come back.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good option to have.
Probably just gonna keep most of my Nerf guns there until I need to go to a Nerf 4 and all.
I wonder at what point are they gonna be like, all right, Brogan, get your shit out of here.
Well, I don't have too much crap now because
Did you
give it all away? Minimalism and got a lot of stuff away. I have had like 4 trash bags full of, maybe 6 trash bags full of stuff that I gave away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've gone through a lot of stuff, and over time it's gotten really easy. Like at first I couldn't get rid of anything, and then it just went.
I feel that. So how did you kind of go through that process? What sort of stuff were you getting rid of, and like how did you make those decisions?
I was getting rid of Nerf guns. I was getting rid of excess clothes. That was the main stuff. I had a bunch of random stuff I wouldn't use too.
Okay.
Like all this junk in my desk, of like user manuals for keyboards and mouses that I don't need. Or,
yeah.
I mean, maybe I had that keyboard or mouse, but it didn't matter because I don't know how to use a keyboard and a mouse. I don't need a manual for it.
So it's pretty much just trash to you.
Yeah. At first, it was just like keyboard manuals and a few clothes.
What was hard to get rid of?
Nerf guns were hard to get rid of, and as soon as I got rid of some more, they
You were like, damn.
yeah. So once I got rid of some of them, it got easier. I had way too much stuff I was trying to do with Nerf. I had like about 10 projects I wanted to do that I never got to. I had about 20 blasters I wanted to use in a Nerf ward that were incredibly impractical, but I wanted to use them anyway, but I would never do it. So I just got rid of them. Like, you know, the disc blasters?
Oh, yeah. I loved mine because I had one and my brothers didn't. And they were a lot nicer than, or at least for just like in the house, not necessarily a big Nerf war. Yeah. Yeah. Because again, Ricochet, you could bounce the discs off of stuff and hit them. So and it was more powerful than the ones we had because it was new and you could slam fire. The one I had. So you could really put some power into that.
I had a disc blaster. It was just a pump action one, and I bought 2 drum 40-round drum disc mags, and I had about 60 other mags worth of disc. And my goal was I was going to make a whole disc loadout, and I was just going to shoot discs. But I never did that. I never got around to it. And I'm like, okay, screw this. I'm just returning all this. Especially because I was like really into the Kansas City Nerf Club at that point. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to use this viably.
Around what time was this? How many years ago was that?
It was only like a year ago. I started attending in 2022.
So what was the difference you saw when you got rid of all your stuff and now your room's like empty? How did you feel?
My room is like still full.
Oh, it's still full.
There's like no room in my room.
Minimalism with the full room.
It was so bad like before, but now it is.
Now it's manageable.
Bad but manageable. I have so
thinking
much,
that you said
Nerf.
You said 6 trash bags, right?
It's a lot of stuff, yeah.
That's a lot of stuff, and you're still like, yeah, I have no space.
Pretty much.
Do you have a small room anyway, though?
I kind of have a small room anyway, but I do have to like. I don't know. It's probably because I put my desk in a different configuration that is bad, but I do have to like waddle around some parts of my room.
Yeah.
I think I still do. It's kind of the furniture takes up too much. It's kind of like there's like no clothes in the dresser, but the dresser is huge.
Long term van life. What are your thoughts on that? Because I mean, you only have enough room, like the size of your van. So what are you thinking? Could you go? Room. Say you had no room to leave the room. Say your parents were like, "Hey, you can't keep anything here anymore." Since you're out, what would you do? How would that change your perspective on van life and to be a true van lifer, not just I
would still try to go through van life. Still want to do that, even though if I had less room. So my clothes are pretty consolidated. I only have basically what I need. So my clothes are good. My Nerf guns, I guess I'm gonna keep about 4 of them. Probably my Nerf Strife, which is modded. Probably the next. I'm gonna name Nerf blasters. No one knows, but I'm gonna keep 4 of them.
Yeah.
Probably gonna keep one of the shields because they were baller, and I won them through a raffle through strategic gambling. I need those. Gonna get rid of my computer. Probably maybe if I had
get rid of your computer. Oh, you have a desktop.
I have a desktop computer.
So get a beefy laptop. Is what you're saying.
So I guess I'd sell it as much as I wouldn't like to because I wouldn't have space for it. I as a kid in like 2017, I spent $1,300 after working for my dad a butt ton and built this like really awesome super computer, and it still runs games well to this day, even though I don't use it to play video games.
I feel anymore. That I spent like $3,000 on mine, and now it's used to record podcasts.
That's right, because you don't really play games too much anymore, do you?
I don't.
Yeah, no.
Really
and this dude used to be playing all the games. He'd be like, "Have you played this game yet? Here, let me show you. Let me give you this game."
Fun.
It's like, "Yeah, I watch all my animes while I'm gaming." He had like 3 screens set up. One of them was vertical.
Video while you're.
Yeah, dude. He was like, "Yeah, right now I'm watching 14 animes at once." Because they.
See, I like to watch my videos in 2 times speed. Just to.
Same here, but not my entertainment videos. Not like animes.
See, it keeps me more engaged. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because you have to pay attention.
That's that Subway Surfer. Although for regular YouTube videos and podcasts, like I'll speed those up. Like I'll do 1.2 speed for podcasts, just because I think even myself, regular talking speed, when you're in a conversation, it's fine. when you're listening, just as a listener,
Yeah.
it's agony. It's really slow, and simple pauses are very slow. And so I put that on 1.2 just to keep the person's voice intact, but to get a little more speed going.
I would play video games with YouTube for a while, and then I can't even like play them at all. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's the thing. I want to play games, but
I want to like get the nostalgia from playing Minecraft again, and I keep trying every once in a while to like download mods, download texture packs, or download something, or play with people to like recreate that feeling, but it's not possible.
No, it's I remember the first time I was introduced to Minecraft, and I was just like, oh my god, you can build a base in the trees, you could build a base in the lava, you could build a base in the ocean, you could build a base. Like everything was base, and I was like, I want a base everywhere, hidden.
I want a base in my base.
Yeah, and I want everything hidden so that you could just move this one block, do this one thing, and everything looks natural, but there's a base there, And that's the thing, is like, what do you do with the base? And Terraria was the same way. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Yeah.
It was similar magic to it. And then now it's like, there's not quite the same magic. And Minecraft is,
I just
you
get
can
a
do
certain
whatever,
point in Minecraft, and then I'm just like, well, now what's the point? I've done everything. I got.
yeah. And
Like
you're like,
diamond
why?
gear, I got the diamond sword. I can kill any mob. I could go kill the ender dragon.
Why don't I do this in real life?
It's like, why don't I go chop down trees in my parents' forest and build
Yep.
a house?
Minecraft is a very it comes and goes. It's sinusoidal, it's up and down. It's it's you play it for some time, then it goes away, and then you play it for a week, and then it goes away, and so you play it, maybe once a year for like a week, and you like go hard during that week, and you are like up at night, just
That's how my dad plays video games. I let him play video games on my computer every once in a while. And he played Dishonored, and instead of just playing Dishonored like a normal person and like taking breaks, he played on New Year's Eve. He played on New Year's Eve the whole night and beat the game.
Oh, like, wow. Dad, it's Christmas. Like, are you gonna come out of the room?
No, it's time that I play my yearly video game.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is for me. When I play a video game, I know I'm gonna get into it. We played video games during COVID, and man, we were on all day. It was like for a solid month, because I was in between jobs at the time. I was looking for something else, but at the same time, I was just like, I'm gonna relax because I still have money in the bank. And so we played like Destiny 2, we ground that out hella hard. We also Far Cry 5, we ground that out. We also played just a bunch of Uno. Dude, it's like we had the same mind. We would be on the same team, and we would just know. We would know what we were gonna do.
We won so much.
It was insane.
What was there, 2v2 Uno?
Yeah, it was like teams.
That's interesting.
And it was, even playing against each other was kind of difficult, because it's like we knew our game already. So when we were playing against other people, it was almost like, okay, we were trying to kill them first. That was like our priority. But also, we didn't want to let the other person get an upper hand, because we just knew each other's game so well. And so that, and then like games like Fall Guys and just random stuff. But mainly it was Far Cry and Destiny 2, right? Yeah. And Minecraft. Minecraft, yeah. Because that was our yearly Minecraft. And then I didn't touch Minecraft for like another year and a half or so. But yeah, it was games. You just kind of go hard in the paint, and then you realize, you got to do stuff in real life. There's the entertainment, the drive, and especially when you do it with other people, you're like, let's go, it's fun. But then it's like, okay,
at a certain point, like you're like, I accrue no real benefit from this.
Yeah, and now you don't even get like excited about it anymore. After that week on Friday, you're like, do I want to do another round?
I got bored of video games. And I got excited for real life. That was pretty much my thing.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. That's the goal. How do you?
That was escapism for most part for me, and then I started like facing real life more, and I was like,
well, here's the thing. Here's the unfortunate part about like childhood is you don't realize what's out there, and so video games are so goddamn fun that it makes it seem like everything else is boring, right? And and it's like, why do a bunch of stuff in life when you could have so much fun here, and then.
Well, I can't get a diamond sword in real life.
Yeah, but you can. It's a little weirder, but
I wouldn't. You probably wouldn't want to cut.
Not a pure diamond. No, it would. Yeah, it would not be the best
It'd
sword.
be pretty mid.
But yeah, it makes me wonder, like, if I were raising a kid, how would I get them excited for life and make video games seem like, okay, maybe I'll do it every once in a while, but mainly I just want to get out and do things, you know, because video games could be great for simulation and like brain mental stuff, but you got to attach it to the real world.
Yeah, puzzle solving games are probably helpful.
Yeah, like I will attribute some of my understanding to physical knowledge, which sounds weird, to video games, because you do have to internally visualize the way things are going to work, and it is learning processes.
Yeah, if
like,
you use redstone in Minecraft, you're gonna get
yeah.
brain.
Oh my god,
I was so bad
there
at
are
that.
redstone engineers. Like
Right now, Minecraft, just like the Microsoft version, they actually have educational worlds and interactions for kids to do.
Did they have
I'll need to check that out.
Wasn't it education version? Wasn't it a whole different version?
I have no idea. I know for sure in the Microsoft version there is a redstone course though.
Oh my god. Because I just feel like, you know, games you could simulate, you can make brain games, you could pose situations, and you can make it fun. But for me, it's how do you translate that to the real world? I was almost wondering, like, how do you make science, like put the rules of science into games and then have people fuck around, and then I guarantee you'll
Maybe
like discover
playing a game
shit.
like Planet Sandbox or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
think I remember in the education version they had all these chemicals, and you could make them interact with each
cool.
other. Yeah, it was interesting.
Like, I know before they've made video game, like they were kind of games, they were puzzles more that were directly related to scientific research, and people were able to solve things in a matter of weeks or whatever. And that's what I'm thinking. How can you do that with games to where you can figure out things about the real world, you can practice things in the real world, but it makes it feel like the game, so that you could go and translate what you just did in the real world. And maybe there's, you know, some stuff like lab equipment you gotta learn.
Games are kind of like never made like that anymore, though.
Yeah.
No kid wants to play that.
Yeah, no kid wants to play something
Like all
that's
the
not
games
fun.
that I was playing were like Call of Duty, just a bunch of shooters, and
Yeah.
I got obsessed with this game called Deep Rock Galactic, where you're a space dwarf and you go on this planet and shoot a bunch of bugs and mine stuff. And they had all these crazy stuff. Like there was this gun called the Plasma Cutter, and it shoot 3 plasma beams that would just tear through the bugs. And the game was really in depth.
So how do you make that in real life? No. Bugs.
I'm gonna transition to a dwarf.
Yeah. I'm gonna shrink myself and put myself in a cockroach infestation.
And then I'm gonna freeze myself until we're starting to go to alien planets where there's bugs.
Bug planets.
And then I'll put like my wish to go to an alien planet. That game was crazy, so in depth. I spent 600 hours in that game because of all the they had all these crazy guns. Like one was literally just aimbot, but it was like, it's hard to explain. It was well mechanicked, but as well as like being able to track on targets and kill them.
It was just all right. So I wanted to get into some other questions, like one's more about future and, you know, what you're thinking and things like that. So I want to know what drives you as an individual.
I'm mostly just an extrovert, like just talking with other people and being able to tell people about all the ideas I've learned from like philosophy and stuff, like Stoicism.
What are some of your favorites?
Ideas?
Yeah, or philosophies or things like that you've seen so far.
Most of my philosophy is basically just Stoicism, but it's kind of hard to call that a philosophy when it's basically just techniques on how to be happy. But that's most of what I think about. Just not. I like so the main goal of Stoicism is this word that I'm not going to know how to say. It's like eudaimonia or whatever. And it's basically described as this free flowing through life and being relaxed through problems and adversity and not being stressed out and just being relaxed and having a good time while confronting challenge and adversity and being like fulfilled and content the whole time. And I think that's like what I like the most. Like being able to use all these techniques to just relax and through any problem I'm going to face in life, like, and not getting too stressed by it, not taking life too seriously that it's making my mental health suffer.
Gotcha. And how do you think you impact the people around you? Because you said you're an extrovert. How do you impact those people? And may not be on purpose, but how do you think you do?
I know that at
or try to.
where I spend most of my time, my coworkers really like me. I'm known as a weird guy, basically, and I know that their shift is better when I'm there, and that every once in a while I'll try to drop a little bit of philosophy, because I hear people's thinking stuff that makes them unhappy. They say that stuff like, I can't be happy unless this happens, or I'm upset at this. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't be upset at that, because it's not that big of a deal.
Hey, bro, I know your brother died, but it's okay. Bro. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Life goes on.
Life, it happens.
Let's get on with it. Come on.
Bro, it's not
Stop crying. Stop crying. Stop crying.
You cried enough. Come on.
No, you don't need to get angry. Don't get. Yeah, no, that'd be pretty terrible.
Not that far. Mostly just when people deal with minor inconveniences and they're upset by it, because I don't know. That just irks me a little bit. Why are you getting upset at this? It makes me go on a little rant every time I see someone kind of go on something like that. I'm like, dude, you don't got to get upset by this.
Yeah, but if you tell them that, you're like, you're an asshole. It's like, what do you mean I can't be upset about this?
Yeah, sometimes.
Although some people do think about it. They're like, I don't need to be upset about that. Yeah, you're right. But most people just continue to be upset.
Yeah, some people, they're just not at that point to be ready for kind of stoic thought.
And hey, maybe it's a culmination of something. Maybe that tiny thing was like straw that broke the camel's back. So it's like, you only see they got upset by this one thing, but really it was, everything's happening. Maybe their brother did die. Maybe they just got evicted. Maybe their car just broke down. And then
maybe their van. Yeah,
and maybe just the sticker that won't rip off of the roll just was the last thing, and then they're just like, ah.
Yeah.
So so I want to know, what are you striving to do in the near future, within 5 years? What are you trying to do? What is your main goal to accomplish in the short term?
About even that short, that's long term for me. 5 years.
That's long term for you?
Yeah, I haven't even
He's
thought
in the
about
present. So, okay, you in the present 5 years down the road.
Only thought a year or maybe 2 years.
So yeah, what kind of goals do you have then?
My goal is
even if it's every day.
Every day?
Yeah, and you wake up and this is your goal in life, and you're gonna have the same goals in 5 years, and it's what you do every day.
Oh, what I do every day? Well, every day I try and wake up and meditate. Want to keep that up for at least 5 years, maybe every day until I die.
Are you trying to accomplish anything? Do you have an end game for a lot of things you do?
Not for meditation. I just kind of increase my time every once in a while, and that's it. Yeah. Probably in 1 to 2 years, I want to run an ultra marathon. Probably increase my mileage to a crazy point by that point, if I'm consistent. So running a little bit every day. I don't know. That question seems to imply values. How do you act each day?
Yeah, I mean that's it. Because if you have goals for the future, the only way to reach them is to do things now, right?
Yeah.
And it's not saying you have to do everything in one day, but
I'll procrastinate.
How do you live your life pretty much?
2 years and then get it all at the end.
Yeah, what are you doing now to accomplish some goals in the future? And do you have goals in the future? And you probably do, but you don't necessarily explicitly see them as the word goals.
Yeah.
It may just be something you're trying to do in general. Because indefinitely you're going to try to do some things. You're going to be maybe I'm going to try to be a good person indefinitely. I mean, that's something.
I try and make sure I'm being a good person just by thinking about my actions and how I should act and all that every once in a while. And just trying to be as based as I can. One of my most specific goals is that I want to live off of 20 hours a week of work, which would probably be 800 a month.
Yeah. And
just have all that free time to I really like talking to people. I really like to talk to people, to hang out with people. What really frustrated me the other day was I I was like, I work all these hours and I have all 8 friend groups I want to hang out with, and
Yeah.
I have all these projects I want to do and I don't have time for them. I want to make a life in which my life isn't mostly work.
So I actually heard somebody talking about this, and that kind of idea comes from the fact that work isn't necessarily something you totally enjoy, and it saps your energy, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, like say working at Quick Trip, I mean, you work a shift. It may not be bad. It may be, you know, you may enjoy your time there.
I like Quick Trip. I like
But
the
it's just sap
people
time.
there, but
So it's one of those things where I hear from people, if you are really working toward a goal, if you are working towards something you love, or you're doing something that you love doing, that you're going to work weekends, 12 hours a day. It's going to be something that's all consuming to you. So something that because I had that thought before as well, like how can I work only 20 hours? And then it came into my mind, why am I not just doing the things I love to do and somehow finding a way to get paid for some of it? Some things, if you put as business, it's not as pure, just because you have to ask for money at some point with a service.
Yeah.
And sometimes doing things for free is more fulfilling. But I mean, how can you make that your life? Make what you are doing, what you want to do, something you get paid to do, or at least part of that. So it's less of, okay, I have work and then I have life, and it's okay,
Yeah.
I have a life and I'm getting paid to do things so I can sustain myself. So that's something I have thought about before. 'Cause
Yeah,
I've
struggled.
also toiled with that. Like, I don't want to be just working a job for 40 hours a week.
yeah, I've struggled to find something that would be so fulfilling that it wouldn't feel like a job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what that would be. So I like Nerf, I like exercising, but I don't want to but exercise is like you could become a physical therapist and help people with that. But
Well,
that's
I
so
also
much
find
knowledge.
that when thinking about that, because I've been in the same route of thought, that you have to be a particular job description position. That I'm going to be an architect. I'm going to be an officer. When sometimes you can bring value in society in different ways. Where I'm not necessarily this one set thing. Maybe I have a specific role here that doesn't even have a title yet. Maybe I am a little bit of a lot of things. That maybe I'm a handyman in a sense where, I do tile on the weekends, but I also, build this thing. Or sometimes I interview people because I'm a good interviewer or something. Or, you just make money in various ways, and you're not necessarily a job title. Because I always thought whenever you're a kid, you're like, oh, you can do whatever you want. But whatever you want is always in a job title. It's always like you're an astronaut. Like, you have to be what an astronaut is. It's like, why can't you do something that doesn't fit into that box? And of course it creates a new title, but
Yeah.
it's I find it freer to think if you're not thinking exactly in titles, because then that kind of produces the thought of what the established job, occupation, hours would be. So it's sometimes there's a medium in there, and I find a lot of people where they find success and happiness is they're not necessarily in a specific job description all the time. It's something a little more in between. And, even if they're in a business, it's not like something that was advertised to them as a kid, it's something that they found, something that the business needed, that they kind of found a place for. So I don't know. It's just a way to think about that. It's not necessarily like, what should I do? It's what am I doing? What skills do I have, and how can I apply that? So
Yeah, that's my struggle. I can't really find anything that I enjoy doing, or that I have the skills for, that I want to work and have it not feel like a job.
I also hear, and it's mainly older people, that you don't really find your place until, late 30s, early 40s. And then it's, you feel like you were an infant before, because you finally understand where you fit in society and what you can do, because now you have skills, you've built up skills from life, and you have been in so many experiences that you kind of understand where you like to be. And so you kind of fall into a place, or you're trying to get to a place, and you have the ability, you want to be there. So that's another thing that's kind of strange about being a young person who's like, man, I want to do something, or I don't want to work. I want to also do this, but I want to have a job. I want to contribute, but man, that shit sucks. I want to contribute in other ways. I want to be able to relax with people. And it's like, you have all this stress of trying to fit in a place when it's like, okay, if you just gain a bunch of skills, you have a bunch of experience, oftentimes you will just gravitate towards spots. And that's kind of hard to hear because you don't want to be in such an uncertain place where it's like, okay, I'm going to be shifting jobs all these years. I won't have a retirement, you know, like something that's a little more freaky, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, struggle with identity. I'm not sure. But
I just gotta figure it out. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to figure out trying to test out a bunch of jobs.
yeah,
I tried YouTube for a little bit. Didn't really like that too much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I might go back to it. I was talking to somebody at Quick Trip the other day. I'll have like at least 20 interesting conversations with customers each day, which is a lot of fun. Someone was telling me about, what was it? What's the new platform for streaming? Kick?
Oh, I've heard of Kick.
That's been around for a while. That's messaging, right? There's
I think Kick came out like 2-3 years ago.
Kick?
Yeah, Kick.
As a streaming service or as a messaging service? Because I know that was a messaging app for years. Like I was a child and knew about Kick, but I didn't know they streamed.
Yeah, so right now you can stream on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Kick, and some other one.
There's some other ones, yeah. At least of the ones that are reputable.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
The newest one, I have no idea.
But you're trying to stream on there.
I was thinking about streaming, but then I don't know. I got like enthralled in the conversation. I didn't even think. Wait, I don't even like to play video games anymore. But I was just enthralled because he said...
Oh, streaming, like, okay.
Yeah, I was enthralled because he said you could get 70 bot accounts and they'll start paying you. And like, you get 70 bot accounts and you record you stream for an hour, like 12 days in a row, and they'll start paying you $16 an hour for recording.
Oh, my God.
Hey, you know what?
But that'd be boring. That's too much video games.
You could just do IRL streams, you know? Who says you need to sit at a desk?
Yeah, and you could stream, you could do stream anywhere with anything.
Watch me chop down 40 trees.
Yeah, or, hey, I'm sitting on a bench, talk to me, ask questions. You know, some people like that.
Yeah, maybe I should try that then.
Some people find...
I keep forgetting that streaming is also real life as well, because I just keep thinking to
video games and virtual. Yeah. People like genuine, and if you're an interesting character, people like to ask you questions. They want to know what's going on in your life.
I think I fill that role pretty well.
Yeah,
because I mean, at work, I don't know why this happens. It's very weird, but all my coworkers seem to have to remind me that I'm weird, and I don't.
I get that a lot.
It's kind of awkward, and I don't. It feels also kind of mean in a way sometimes. It's like, why are you doing that? Like, I get it. But it's like my manager, my first assistant manager, is like, "Hey, bub, you know you're weird, right?" He has such a weird slang, and it's really funny.
He's weird. You tell him he's weird.
And he's like, well, as long as you know that, and it's cool. It's cool. And it's like, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I know that. I know I'm weird. Yeah, no, I get that a lot too. People are like, oh man, you're strange, you know. But when you're slightly different in some manner, people want to know what's up and what's going on. Because especially if you're genuine, like you're not a bad weird character.
Yeah, I know a few bad weird characters.
Yeah, they don't want anything to do. They do get out of here. You know, we don't want to listen to you. We don't want to see you. We don't want to know what you're up to. But if you're...
Most of the time, if you're a bad weird character, you're like looking for people's approval by being alternative.
Yeah. Or you're just involved in bad shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And people don't like being around that. So, and...
I don't like shit.
Yeah, that's typically what I see. If you're genuine and you're not doing bad things, but you're slightly different, you're slightly strange, you're interesting, people root for you. They want you to win. They want to see what you're up to. They want to help you out. So, and people who do that, who are the ones like rooting for you, who want to help you, you always see who good people are at that point when you see like who's in your corner, even though they don't know you that well, you know?
Yeah.
So I always like to see that. Yeah, I don't really have too much else to talk about. You got...
I don't really have anything in specific.
So I have one final question then. That's what makes you enjoy life?
What makes me enjoy life? I watched this documentary on happiness the other day. I forgot what it was called, but it was on Netflix. And they said, like, there are 3 intrinsic goals in life, like personal growth, helping others, and relationships. And I think if you just narrow it down to those 3 things, if you just have some sort of personal growth, which for me right now is training to run a marathon and kind of learning to live off of nothing and just have more time than money and do all these projects and have all these experiences. And then relationships, that ties in. I work at Quick Trip, have a pretty good community there. And I have all these good friend groups that I'm hanging out with. Hopefully more soon that I lower my work hours and learn to live off of nothing, live off of dirt. And then helping others. I've been trying to make like homeless bags. I made 3 of them. I need to give them out and just want to find a way to help others. I'm thinking I'll volunteer at my dad's work because he is a nonprofit. And since I won't have any money, really, I'll just have to volunteer my time, which I think would be better than money. Yeah, I think there are, like, I like this quote from Friedrich Nietzsche. You have your way, I have my way. As for the right way, the correct way, there is none. But also, like, at the same time, think there are base things that make us happy as human beings and make us enjoy life. And it's those 3 things that documentary mentioned that I wish I remembered. I think it was literally just called Happy. It might have just been called Happy. No, but it wasn't on Netflix, actually, because it had ads. It was on something else. So I think it's just those 3 base things that make us happy. Some sort of personal growth. So, like, you can have your way. It can be whatever you want, but you have to have some sort of personal growth. You can't just do nothing. You have to have something you're striving towards. You need to have relationships. You need to have real friendships and probably romantic relationships to be happy. And you need to help others in some way and help the human race as a whole.
Awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
I guess with that we'll be done. How was it?
I liked it. It was a lot of fun.
Do you have any social media you want to plug in, or?
No, I've been actually trying to get rid of my social media.
No, I
course.
I was about to delete
understand that.
Snapchat.
Oh man. Oh, but the
That's
group
like
chat,
the
Brogan.
I know the group chat, but you
But,
can just transfer it over to text. I was hoping,
Oh,
or I don't know.
yeah, we already have a group chat over text. Nobody uses it.
Oh no!
Literally, no one uses it.
I just wanted to get off of Snapchat because of the discovery pages. So
Yeah, because you swipe over and it's
I just want to get rid of it, but I can't.
yeah. I want to delete that whole side of it, but
I got a documentary. I watched another documentary about how much social media sucks, and it basically made me realize that social media is not really there to connect us. It's to sell us. It like makes us the commodity to advertise.
Yeah.
It's hijacking our attention. So
Well, I do feel it's still valuable in connecting us, and it does connect us because
Yeah.
I can talk to people in the middle of the night, video call without having to pay for anything, right?
Yeah,
So
it's great at that point, but it still has all these other features that
Yes.
keep you addicted, and
Yeah.
I don't like that.
There's
I would
the
rather
other
just
aspect.
move all to text, but the problem is groups probably don't want to move to text. Some people don't use text that much. My friend was talking the other day that he has Instagram, but he only uses Instagram because some people won't just add him on
and
as a phone.
also numbers are a little more intimate, I should say, because that's
Yeah.
like your direct line. Your number doesn't really change too much, so you don't want to give that out. So like that's one of the big things. Like you can give somebody a Snapchat or have group chats with Snapchats, on Snapchat, and there are people maybe you don't want them to have your personal number, but you could
still
have them
wanna
on there,
Talk to them.
and you could block them, delete them, things like that.
An alternative, what I've been thinking is, like I backed up all my Snapchat memories because I was kind of tied to the app because I had all this data on there.
Yeah.
But then I requested the data, which is a thing you can do. I didn't know. They just gave me all this data, and they had all this other stuff saved that I didn't even know, and it was kind of creepy.
Like what?
Like stuff from chats, like from a really long time ago, like images from chats
that were deleted.
No, that weren't deleted, but like they had. Oh well, yeah, they would. I don't know. I didn't check, but they're either saved chats, but, like images.
Oh shit!
But it was still really creepy. It's like, oh my god, how do you have all this stuff? But what's annoying was the captions would save independent of images, so it'd have all these images without captions that wouldn't make any sense.
And you're like, why did I send this? What's this picture?
Exactly. And so then I went through and exported all my Snapchat images with captions the other day, so that I could have all that like normal and like so that the images would make sense.
Damn.
So either I want to. I don't know. Maybe I could just download a hacked version of Snapchat because I have all my. So like I heard that if they find out that you do that, they delete your account, which is all right though because I backed up all my data.
Or you can make a different account and then do it.
Make it. What do you mean?
What? A different Snapchat account and then use that account on a hacked Snapchat app.
Yeah, but I've also heard if a Snapchat account is inactive for 30 days, they just delete it. So,
what?
I know.
I don't know. I don't use social media.
Wait,
sometimes
because after a couple years,
yeah.
What?
I haven't used Snapchat, but sometimes I accidentally click on it. I still have mine.
Maybe it's inactive, like nobody's sending anything to them.
The internet was very confusing when I asked that question because I had one answer. It was Snapchat will never delete your account, and then I had another answer. It was like Snapchat will delete your account in a month, and I should have just went to Snapchat and looked at their terms of service. That's where I should have went.
And then you see, we will never delete your account, but we're gonna delete your account.
I really don't think they do because I haven't touched Snapchat in like 2 years.
And are you still able to log into it if you tried?
Yeah. Like I said, sometimes I accidentally click on it and then it just pops up. I can still swipe left and right, see stuff. Yeah. It prompted me to, hey, make a bit emoji. No.
You're like, no.
Have you ever deleted the app though? Like if you had, I
wonder if that's.
For 2 years? I think that's the thing.
That's what I wanted to do.
Because I feel like I've had Snapchat deleted for a lengthy period of time before I re-downloaded it. So I don't know.
I did get a new phone, so I had to re-download all my apps. So
yeah, that's
if
weird.
that counts.
But yeah, social media is a weird.
How long was that period? Was it like?
Oh, I got my phone like 6 months ago, half a year ago.
Oh, that's weird. So it probably won't delete it, but. I just want to get that discovery page out of there.
Yeah, that's literally I hate that discovery page so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, just
all you got to do.
When it was introduced, I was like, what is this bullshit?
I didn't even know they had a discovery
and
page.
I tried to delete all the tiles, like hide them, but there's an infinite amount of tiles. And so I've been.
They probably come back. Like, what if you just. There's not infinite. It's just like 10,000. So imagine if you do all 10,000 of them, and then.
But then someone else would make another one. Like maybe it refreshes every day. I'm not sure. But I was so disappointed because that's the part that I hate about Snapchat the most is the discovery page. Like I don't want to see any of that. And all the stuff that's there, it's not even quality content.
It's so bad. Like it feels bullshit. AI generated at this point.
Yeah, like it's other shows that I never had interest in. I don't want to see.
And all the news ones will take 10 minutes to tell you one thing.
Yeah, you go, oh, this happened, where you click, and then the worst part, I remember when they implemented this, the ads in the stories. So you're not only are you clicking through the stories, like just regular people you follow, and you see ads, but now you're clicking through Discovery, and it's like ads you can't skip. And you're just like...
There's a way to skip them. It's actually really easy. Just press the back arrow and then click back on it.
Oh, okay.
You can but then that takes like 5 seconds too, so there's not even a point.
Because I would try to look at some things for like news, and then it's not only does the news it waits till the last slide to tell you 2 seconds of information, but trying to get there,
that slide?
I'm like, I have to go through like 25 seconds of advertisement plus like a minute or 30 seconds or whatever of listening to the person. I'm like, I don't want to be here for that long, and I hate it so much. I hate the discovery page on Snapchat. Everything there is pretty much useless.
I hate the stories too.
Oh, I kind of like people's stories.
I like people's stories, but sometimes a lot of people just post stuff I don't need to see. Like, I get it, you're eating food.
Yeah. No,
I get it, you're at this place.
I enjoy it. because sometimes it just shows what people are doing right now, and and you're like, oh, that's cool. Like my girlfriend, she's wiring right now, and I saw that. And I was like, oh, she's organizing this wiring things, and I'm like, nice, that's cool.
I think that's the one thing I'm gonna
what people are doing.
It's kind of gonna be annoying if I do go through deleting Snapchat, because now I can't have one thing to just like one story to just show everyone what I'm up to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I found out that when I like post on my story, it makes anything I'm doing less exciting.
Yeah, because then you're like, oh.
Because then I can't talk about it, because then people are like, oh, I already saw that in your story.
Yeah.
And then, like, the conversation's like already dead.
Yeah.
So maybe I might be better just not posting anything on my story, and
it's kind of like
people
Instagram. Like I want to post stuff on there, but I'm like, I don't want to put things on there. I don't want to take pictures for that. And so on my phone, I actually have a couple of things that I could put on there, you know, things we've done as a group, and where there are photographs or whatever, be like, hey, look at this. But I'm also like, do I really want to share those things with people?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So I haven't posted in almost 2 years. I think.
You think?
Maybe it's been like a year and a half. I don't know. What did I post last? Not sure. Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate the discovery page, and I hate other people's stories.
So much.
Is that true, or are you?
I mean, like I said, I don't
He's a
use
closet
it.
Snapchatter. No. He's like, I'm on Discovery all the time. I love stories.
No, I can't do it. I'm hardly on my phone. It's always at like 90% by the end of the day.
Yeah. The problem that I find is I actually hate being on my phone because it's such a small screen, and I don't like focusing on something when everything else is around there. So I'm like, I don't like looking at it. And people who text me often find that's the case. I don't like being on my phone. But the problem is when I like lay down to rest, that's when the phone comes out, and that's when it becomes a problem.
I didn't even do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like the thing. It's usually when I'm in between something, or I didn't have a specific goal after being done with another thing.
I'm trying to just let myself be bored when that happens, because boredom is better than looking at
something
my phone.
I've heard is like when you rest, because you're not actually resting when you look at your phone.
You're stimulated.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not getting rest. So you're making it doubly worse. So that's the thing is, for me, trying to get rest instead of looking at my phone, or trying not to habitually go to things, because I started using this when I was really young. So,
yeah, I'm trying to just have this thing be a tool and not to be used by it, basically.
Exactly.
There's this Thoreau quote, men become tools of their tools, and that's basically just describes phones in today's society.
Yeah,
like,
that is.
everyone's just being used by it, and all the social media apps.
Yeah, if
hijacking their attention, they can't.
If you don't have to buy a product, or if you don't have to purchase something to use it, you're probably the product, like stuff like that.
That was a quote in the social media documentary that I watched. It was called The Social Dilemma on Netflix. That made me want to delete all my social media.
Attention and data is what, people are making money off of, and it's so strange because, I mean that's what they're doing. It's like,
that's
where
how
do
YouTube works. You get people's attention, and they watch it. And
so
money.
The thing is, I don't know. I got a lot of conflicting thoughts when it comes to that.
I got plenty too that I gotta work through.
Yeah, because I'm like, because I don't want to just like say a blatant statement where it's like, okay, I know there are things wrong with what that's said, so I can't just say the blanket statement. But getting into like the nitty gritty of it, I'm like, how do I navigate this to like it be the truth, and how do I think about it? What do I think about it? How does that apply to my life, and how do I shift from that understanding? So there's a lot to be done when it comes to that stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. It's definitely a work in progress. Oh, the woes of modern society.
Oh, but we get a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have Nerf guns.
True. Yeah.
The Nerf guns sucked back in the olden days, I think. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were like the ping pong ball shooters.
Oh, but there's this one that looked really cool. Besides that, all mid.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm done here. What about you?
I think so too.
Awesome.
Well,
thank you for coming on.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, we're trying to get more people on, because we're trying to fit closer to our goal, and what we originally wanted to do is talk to people about things, to kind of capture moments in their life. I mean, our podcast is called In the Works for a reason, because people are always in the works. They're never really
there's
stagnant.
this-
Even if they're stagnant, they're
Watched
still.
this YouTube channel called Dry Creek Wrangler School, and he made a video like, "When should you have it all together?" And he's like, "Nah." And if he's a slow talker. He takes about 20 minutes for each video to just answer one question. Short answer is no. You should never have it together.
Yeah, and so that's the kind of the thing. Everyone's on their journey.
It's not about the destination.
Yeah, I'd love to take snapshots of that and like where you are, and maybe even later in life you come back on, and then you could be like, "This was Brogan at 18," and then you're like 27. It's like, wow, I'm so different. Here's where I went with that, and it's kind of interesting to see, especially for me, the psychology of people, because what can you draw out of a person? Like if you see them later in life and then you go back and look at when they were young, you're like, oh, there's that twinkle right there that made this, you know.
Yeah.
What were they thinking then, or how were they conducting their life then that added to where they are now, you know? So that's what I like to see is what makes a person and what makes a person do what they do later in life. So
Yeah, it's interesting.
yeah, so I'm excited. I want to get a lot more people on here.
I have a few people that I think would want to come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could introduce us. I would really like to meet somebody before, typically. At least one of us know or meet a person before.
You know one of my friends. It's Lucas.
Lucas?
Remember you
Oh,
did the
yeah.
20-mile walk?
He had a lot to say.
He
Yeah.
did. He would be great for the podcast, I think.
But, yeah, so it's just for us, it's finding people who we've at least spoken to before, because I don't want exact whack jobs on here, because you know it is a risk. It is a risk if you only kind of know somebody, but that's also okay. You don't want to know them completely fully. Come on here and be like, I know everything about you already. Like
Tell me more.
Yeah, there's some added mystery, but I don't want someone to come on here and start riffing like terrible shit. So yeah, but it's interesting to see.
Someday we'll have 6 people at once on this podcast.
That'd be crazy.
We were looking over our equipment and we're like, we might be able to do like.
No, we can.
We can.
Because with this camera that we're using right now, it actually has an audio jack, so I can connect it to the other microphones.
Yeah, and exactly. So we have like 2 lavalier mics and then 4 regular mics, and that has 4 ports, and then he could connect the thing to the camera and it records on itself or whatever. So yeah, we could have 6 people and have people bring their own headsets if they have them, or if we have extras. These are just fancy ones, that's all, but a regular one would work too. So we could have 6 people on here. So that would be interesting for people we've already had on, or like friends or something. You just have a bunch of people on here. But I'm excited to see where we'll go with this. I just don't want to run out of people to talk to, because I mean, I don't really.
Yeah, I could supply you with some people.
I don't really go too many places. And
Human trafficking.
Here's the thing: we want to get.
Thanks.
Okay, no. But finding, because we've only been talking to like really young people right now, just because that's the people we know right now. But I want to talk to older people. But the way to get those individuals is usually you have to have some sort of credibility first. And
to get old
and
people?
know them, yeah, no, older, not necessarily old people. Old, but I just want to see them wrinkles, you know. No, because a lot of people who may have some very valuable information might be in a profession, and people in a profession are very careful about going on things and talking about things. Yeah. So I would want to have credibility here, like, okay, we're not spewing crap out. If you go on here, it's not going to taint your image. It's just going to be you speaking. So that's something I want to be able to happen. I want to be able to point to our podcast, be like, go watch our podcast. It's cool. And then we're able to get those people on there because we have credibility. We're not some whack job. And I don't know. I just want to talk to a lot of people, but there are barriers sometimes to talking to individuals, especially in this format. Speaking to them one-on-one, not as much, but recording, there are some barriers that I want to make sure we're able to climb over easily. So I want to set that up. So I want to get some older people on there, like some more mature individuals, people in professions, you know, that have a lot more life experience than us, and help us drive forward there.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. All right. So I guess with that, we'll just finally end it. All right. So
three, like acts.
So I
failed
guess
endings.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe.
Yes, comment. I love the comments. Okay, here's the thing.
Comments that we look once every 2 weeks.
I know, but I love it. I'm not great at responding, so if I don't respond or like them or hit like on them, just know I want to read
I'm gonna
them.
make that your job because I have to do the editing and
I know.
the uploading and everything else.
But here's the thing, like I'm terrible and I never know what to reply either. Like, I want to be genuine, but saying like thanks sometimes sounds disingenuous, but I also don't want to write a paragraph per person. So I don't know exactly what to put, but I love seeing comments. And thank you, Cody. Thank you, Raviv. I know there's some other accounts. Maybe it's somebody I know, but they don't have their name on there. But thank you for commenting because it's fan-fucking-tastic. Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. And with that, I guess we'll just get out of here.
Thank you for watching In the Works by Brandon Nusa. Subscribe and like for more.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
And before you hit that stop button, we need to clap to make sure it syncs.
I've just been